And good morning, Math Masters and Math Wizards. Let's dive right into it. Our math lesson today, exciting news. I got my glasses. I finally can see. I can read again. So I'm happy about that. Not happy that I'm not in class with you guys, but it's just the way things are. So if you have your problem set at home, we're doing lesson 21, the back side, and it's page 182. And we are adding fractions that have different denominators. And remember, we talked a little bit about this, that we've talked a lot about it, that this is a proper fraction. The numerator is less than the denominator, so these are proper fractions. Let's start with some models. Okay, let's make our first tape diagram for 7/10. We've got a lot of problems to do today. So I'm going to break this into 10 pieces, 10 units. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you go ahead and do the same. And remember, you can always pause if you need to catch up. So I'm going to shade in 7 to show 7/10. And there we have it, 7/10. There's the numerator, and the total is the denominator, 7/10. Okay, let's do our 3/5. Try to make them the same size. So I'm going to break this into 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And our numerator is 3, so we'll shade in 3. Showing 3/5. Now, what we need to do is we need to make these fifths tenths. How do we do that? Well, remember what we discussed yesterday? I can say 5 times 2 is 10. So I can make these 5 10, right? Right. So let's go ahead and do that. See how I'm just splitting these units in half to make 5 into 10? Now we are ready to add, because I have 10 units here and 10 units there. So, right, we both have 10, 10. This stays 7. What did the 3 become? Well, 3 times 2 is 6, so it should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It is. So we have 7/10 plus 6/10. And what's that going to equal? Well, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13/10. But our instructions are is to take this improper fraction, well, I never, and turn it into a mixed up number, or mixed number. How do we do that? Number bond. I'm going to make a 10/10. And how many tenths do I have left over? Well, 13 minus 10 is 3. So it looks like I have 1 whole and 3/10. Alright, and if I want, I could cross out 3 of those, put them up there, and we'd see that we'd have 1 whole and 3/10. Do you want to do that? Why not? Let's cross out 1, 2, 3. And shade in 1, 2, 3, and there's our 1 whole and 3/10. Okay, let's go to our next problem. It's 2/3 plus 5/6. So let's make our 2/3 first. 1, 2, and 3. I'll shade in 2. And now let's make our 5/6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we'll shade in 5. Alright. So now I need to make these thirds into sixths. Well, 3 times 2 is 6, so let's split these all up in 2. And look, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we can add. So our 2/3 became 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 6. And then we have 5/6 up here. Time to add. Oops, I don't have much room, so I'll go down here. 4 plus 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It looks like we have 9, 6. We'll make a number bond. 6, 6 to represent 1. 9 minus 6 is 3. We have 6 left over. So it looks like our answer is 1 and 3, 6. Don't believe me? Let's see. I can cross these two out and put them up here. 1 whole and 1, 2, 3 out of 6. 1 and 3, 6. Alrighty. Now we're going to take kind of a giant leap forward. We're not going to make tape diagrams now. We're just going to try to do this without the tape diagram. How do we do it? Let me show you. Okay, are we ready? Ready to make that giant leap? Might need a sip of my coffee before I take this giant leap. Good coffee. All right, so let's take a look. We have 3/4 plus 2/8. I need to make them 8s, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put an 8 right there. 4 times 2 is 8, right? 4 times 2 is 8. So 3 times 2 is 6. And this remains the same. We don't need to change that because our denominators are both 8. So now what do we have? 6 plus 2 is 8. And the denominator stays the same. We have 8/8 are what? That equals 1 whole, right? Let's continue on. Okay, so I need to make these the half a 6th, okay? So I'm going to start with 4/6. 2 times what is 6? 2, 4, 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Because I multiplied the denominator by 3, I need to multiply the numerator by 3. What's 1 times 3? 3. And believe it or not, 1/2 and 3/6 are equal. So let's go ahead and add them up. The denominator stays the same, and 4 plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7, 6. Let's make that into a mixed number because right now it's an improper fraction. So we have 6, 6. And how many 6 do I have left over? Well, 7 minus 6 is 1/6. And there we have it. Our answer is 1 and 1/6. Okay, we'll move on to 4/6 plus 2/3. And we're going to make them 6th, right? I don't need to change that numerator. It stays 4. And this is going to become 6. So 3 times what is 6? 3, 6. 3 times 2. And then I have to multiply the 2 by the same number I multiplied the 3. So 2 times 2 is 2, 4. So it looks like I have 4/6 plus 4/6. Well, the 6th remains the same. And then 4 plus 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is 8/6. We have to do a number bond to get to a mixed number. So 6, 6, and 8 minus 6 is 2. So there we have a total of 8/6. 6, 6 plus 2, 6 equals 8/6. But this symbolizes 1, and we have a fraction left over of 2/6. And there we have it, 1 and 2/6. We continue on. A lot of problems to do today. But practice will make perfect. Okay, why don't you go ahead and pause the tape and see if you can do this one on your own. Pause! Wait, not quite yet, Princess Yvonne. Hold on one second. Let me help them out a little bit before they do it on their own. Okay, I let you. Thank you. So, 10, 9/10 is going to remain the same. This 5 has to turn into a 10. Okay? So 5 times the number is 10, you have to multiply the 3 by the same number. And now it's time to pause. So, welcome back. I hope I gave you enough time. Well, you were in control, you paused it. So let's take a look. 5 times 2 is 10, so I have to do 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6, right? Now I'm ready to add. 9 plus 6. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, thank you, Princess Yvonne. So we have 15/10. Now we need to do the number bond to come up with a mixed number. So I have 10/10, and then I can just think there's still 5/10 left over, right? I have 10/10 plus another 5/10. And it looks like my answer would be 1 5/10. Help me out, Princess Yvonne.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Don't mention it.
All right, so let's head on down here. And I'm not going to have you pause yet. Let's set up a problem first a little bit. I know that 8 is the larger number, eighth, so I'm going to keep 5/8 the same. But you have to turn in 3/4. You have to turn 3/4 into a fraction that's in, oops, not equals, plus, that equals an eighth. How are you going to do that? Think about 4 times 2. And now it's time to pause. And welcome back. If you did 4 times 2 is 8, you'd have to do 3 times 2, right? Whatever we do to the denominator, we have to do to the numerator. So 3 times 2 is 3 6, right? Now it's time to add them up. Do we change the denominator? Do we add these? No, we do not. They remain an eighth. 5 plus 6. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? So now we need to do a number bond. And I want you to try to do this on your own, so that means you'll have to pause. And welcome back. Let's see how you did.
Yes, let's see how the students did.
So, 8/8 to make one whole, right? Because this is an improper fraction. Well, I never. Remember that video? So how many eighths are left over? Well, I have 8/8, so 11 minus 8 would be 3/8. And my answer is 1 3/8. Thank you, Princess Yvonne.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's go to the next one. We have 5/8 plus 2/4. All right, 5/8 plus 2/4. Set this up like so, and this is going to remain the same, 5/8. We need to change the fourths to eighths, and our answer will have a numerator of 8. So now it's time to
pause.
And welcome back. Let's see what you got. Well, you know that 4 times 2 is 8, so we have to multiply 2 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8, 2 times 2 is 4. And now we're ready to add. 8 remains the same, the denominator, so 5 plus 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 9/8. And you, on your own, take care of the number bond and go ahead and
Pause the tape.
welcome back. So let's see what you got. You have to do one whole, which is, remember, because an improper fraction is always,
Improper fraction always greater than 1.
yes it is. So we have 8/8. 9 minus 8, how many 8s do we have left over? We have 1/8 left over. So 8/8 and 1/8, that equals 9/8, right? 8 plus 1 is 9. But now we need to change this into,
A mixed number.
yeah, a mixed number that has a whole number and a fraction. So 8/8 is one whole, and we have one fraction left over of 1/8. So it's 1 1/8. Told you there were a lot of problems to do today. Okay, these are going to be a little more complicated. Not too much more, but just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit more.
Yeah, just a tiny bit more. So let's see what we can do here. 1/2 plus 5/8. I know all of these are going to be 8th, 8th, 8th. And that's a 5/8. So that's not going to change. But think about 2 times what is 8? 2 times what number is 8? 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. So 2 times 4 is 8, then I have to go 1 times 2. Oh, excuse me, 1 times 4. I multiplied that by 4, I have to multiply the 1 by 4. What's 1 times 4? It's 4, and now we're ready to add. 8s, remains the same. 4 plus 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9/8, yes, 9/8. And now let's turn that into a mixed number. 8/8.
And we have just 1/8 left over.
Yeah, just 1/8. And our answer is 1 1/8. A mixed number because it has a whole number and a fraction. Now let's go back to doing some tape diagrams, okay?
Okay, let's do that.
And we'll go with 3/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, I didn't do a very good job. 9 and 10. And then 4/5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to color these in, 3/10 and 4/5. What I'd like you to do is think about it, and how could you make the fifths into tenths? Okay, so go ahead and pause the tape. And welcome back. I hope you did this. I hope you said, well, I know I have to make the fifths tenths, so I'll just do 5 times 2 is 10, right? And now I'm ready to add. The 3/10 will not change, but the fifths became tenths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many tenths? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tenths. What do we get? 13 tenths. And now let's go with a different way of approaching this. Let's make this one whole. So I'm going to cross out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to take those 7 I crossed out and bring them up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I did bad addition here. 8 plus 3 is 11. Oh boy.
Mr. Leggett wasn't paying attention.
No, sometimes I go a little too fast. So I have one whole, right? And 1/10. I hope I didn't mess you up there. 1 whole and 1/10. And the number bond would have been the same. 10 tenths and 1/10 left over. So there we have it. Boy, oh boy. Made a mistake on the last one. All right, boys and girls of room 502, you scholars, you distant learners. What I'd like to do is make sure you get your IXL time in, 25 minutes IXL, and then 25 minutes of Imagine Learning. Make sure you check out social studies. I hope you liked that lesson yesterday, as well as science. Make sure might be a lesson in there. You're going to need a piece of notebook paper, a piece of scratch paper for language arts today. So we will see you.
We will see you tomorrow.
Oh, and be sure to take the quiz on all this good stuff. Just to test your knowledge, not being graded.